Nick, let's take a look first of all at the month-to-month change in the unemployment rate. What did we see in the jobless rate in Oregon going from May to June?
Oregon's unemployment rate went up to 5.5% in June. It's not because more people are losing jobs, though. It really has to do with the summer pattern of more people entering the labor force as unemployed because they're either moving to the state, they're fresh out of school, they're students on summer break, and they haven't been able to find a job yet. This is a usual seasonal pattern, but there seems to be more people entering the labor force this summer than what's usually expected.
Okay, talk about that just a little bit because you said normal seasonal pattern. So I would think that the seasonality of the numbers would take care of that and you wouldn't see this rise in the unemployment rate. Why did we see a rise in the summer when normally we expect more people coming into the labor force?
Every summer there's an increase in the number of unemployed because of students looking for a summer job or graduates fresh out of work or people moving to the state to look for a job. This summer seems to be more of that going on than usual. There's more people doing that than what would usually be expected, which increases the seasonally adjusted number.
We had a number of months where the unemployment rate was trickling down further and further, and now we see it kind of stabilizing, even go up a little bit here, 0.2%. So are we starting to see a turn back in Oregon's economy here after a pretty good drop off?
Well, the labor market looks really strong still. 5.5% unemployment rate is still really low. Historically, it's indicative of a strong labor market like we'd expect to see during a recovery. Usually when the Oregon's unemployment rate gets to this level, it sort of bounces along.
So when we look at now where the jobs were, how industries performed, what do we see here looking at the particular industries here in Oregon?
Well, job growth continues to be pretty strong in Oregon. We added 2,300 jobs in June. Retail trade saw the largest increase, which was really a bounce back from decreases we saw in May. Government sector, especially local governments, which includes school districts, added some jobs in June. Other industries gained and lost, but no real big movement. The net result was the 2,300 job gain.
So you talked a little bit earlier about entrance into the labor force here. What are we seeing here with Oregon's civilian labor force? It had been dropping for quite a while. It seems to be bouncing back a little bit.
Well, the labor force participation rate still continues to go down. This is a demographic trend caused by the aging of the population. As more people enter retirement age, that brings down the percentage of people still in the labor force. So Oregon's labor force participation rate of 60.3% in June is actually the lowest since comparable records have been kept since 1976. But that's not just an Oregon thing, that's a national trend. The U.S. labor force participation rate is also the lowest it's been since 1977.
So when you look at this, let's take a little bit of a longer term view here as far as the payroll employment. You talked about the increases last month. What have we been seeing here as a trend, say over the past 12 months for Oregon, and how does that kind of compare with what's going on nationally here?
Well, job growth continues to be really strong. We've added 52,100 jobs over the last 12 months. That's a growth rate of 3%, which is that's good job growth. The U.S. is growing at a rate of 2.1%, so not as fast as Oregon is, and we've been outpacing the nation in terms of over-the-year job growth since 2013.
So, Nick, when you take a look at this snapshot here of Oregon's economy here, goes up 5.3 to 5.5%. But how would you kind of characterize where Oregon is right now, job growth wise, and just how the economy in general? How would you kind of paint that picture?
Well, job growth is really strong in Oregon still. Unemployment rate is where it might be expected to be in this sort of environment with strong job growth, full-on recovery. It's typical to see Oregon's unemployment rate in the 5% range.